Good morning, everybody. It's been raining a lot, so I'm pretty sure all of the stuff on my bike is just soaking wet right now. I was live streaming last night because this place has really good Wi-Fi, and I tried drinking that German beer we had in the fridge. Fucking nasty. We are on the 5th floor, and there wasn't a place for me to lock my bike. Is this a place I can walk? I think it's a place I can walk. Yeah, so my bike is literally just sitting down there with the wheel locked to the frame. It's literally not chained to anything. I wonder if leaving my bike out in the rain will wash it. Oh shit, my sleeping bag is probably fucking soaked. I have a dryer, it doesn't matter, I can just dry everything. Yeah, stuff is a little bit wet. There is a bike shop relatively close to the place that I'm sleeping. I haven't checked what their supplies are, but we can give them a look. Okay, inner tubes. Kickstands, pedals. Okay, I believe this is the tire section. Interestingly enough, we are in Europe and they are still using inches for tire measurements. Yeah, 26 inch, 27 inch. So in a bike shop as big as this, they don't have the inner tube. I am actually shocked, but I think that means that we need to order it online, which means we're gonna be here for even longer. But we do have 2 of those little locker box things right next to our place, so we can have it shipped here, no problem. So the mall is right next to my place that I'm staying. I think it's called the Eleusis Mall, but the food court here is so cheap. So this right here is the place I've been eating for basically every meal. It's called Noodle Pack. Okay, so check this out. English, dine-in, rice pack. Okay, we're gonna get some beef and rice. I think this is maybe $6. I don't care what the sauce is. Let's go with sweet chili. Then we'll get rice and chicken. This is 2 full meals for $13. $13. If you went to a food court in a mall in America, this would be like 20, 25 bucks easy. Rice and chicken, and then rice and beef. The mall here has like a miniature automobile museum in it. Let's go order some tires and some brakes. Okay, I was able to find 2 of the inner tubes. They cost about $13 a piece. Shipping costs like $2, but we can ship it to the box right over there. Okay, perfect, we got it. Now we're just gonna wait for them to get delivered. It says the estimated delivery date is May 10th, so that means that we're gonna be here for another like 2 days, give or take. Okay, now that we've established that we are going to be here for a couple of days while we wait for that to get delivered, I want to take you guys on a tour of what I do on my day off. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go get a bunch of energy drinks because we are going to be writing some code today. Look at that, they got a sale on iced coffee lattes. Thank you so much. $3. See, motorcycle's still there. Just checking. Yes, bike is still there. Okay, we got our coffee. Let's go ahead and start working. Okay, now I want to give you guys a warning that I need to write some code today. So what we're going to be doing for the next couple of minutes revolves around Python code. But I'm going to try to walk you guys through this so that it's not too complicated. Every time that I go to edit, all of the footage is saved on my GoPros, right? They have an SD card in them. Let me see if I can pop this out to show you. They have an SD card right here. And what I need to do is I need to copy all of the footage from this SD card onto my laptop. And there's multiple ways to do that. What most people do when they're copying files from their SD card to their laptop is they click on the thing, they open it up, they go to the files they want, they select all of them, they drag them, and then they drop them into their laptop. And that works perfectly fine for most situations. The thing is, I do this every single day and it takes up a lot of time to be able to open up the SD card, open up my computer, create the new folder, select everything, drag it and drop it over. And there's also a lot of room for error. If I accidentally don't select all of the files and I move them over, then I've got missing footage in one place, and then after everything is copied over, I need to manually delete them from the SD card. There's a whole lot of like manual clicking that writing a Python script can completely automate for me. That's what I do. I have a script that goes through and copies all of the files from my SD card to my computer without me needing to manually click stuff. Now I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. I'm going to close this. As soon as I insert the SD card, all I need to do is click this import.py. And you'll see this opens up a window and it is transferring all of these individual MP4 files. Apparently there's 60 of them and you can see the individual size of each clip. This is much faster and much easier than me having to manually copy each one of these files individually. Now that you understand the script that we're going to be working on, the thing that copies from the SD card to my laptop, let me walk you through the problem that we're going to be fixing. This camera right here I use on my handlebars, and it doesn't have a screen on it, so you can't tell when it's recording. The only indication it has is a little red LED light right there, but you can't even see that when it's got that foam wind cover on it, so you cannot tell when this camera is recording. What that means is that if I accidentally leave this running for too long because I forget to stop it, this thing can go for hours and hours and hours making huge files. I've had situations where I've got 40 gigabytes worth of footage that I don't actually need. It's worthless. It's just me riding around. I don't actually need it in the vlog, but I still need to copy 40 gigabytes worth of data. It takes eons. So what we need to do is we need to go into that script and we need to add a check. If the file is larger than 3 gigabytes or if it's longer than 10 minutes long, just ignore it. It's a bad clip. Forget about it. Okay, now this is going to look a little bit scary if you've never worked with Python code before, but this is the script right here that does that. It's about 200 lines, and a lot of this just makes it look pretty. So like this guy right here, this big function progress percent, this just makes that the little bar that shows how far the percentage has gone. This is not actually important for copying footage. We only need to edit a couple functions here. This is the function that we are going to be working on right here. It's called copy individual file. This is the individual file that we are moving from the SD card onto the laptop. And you can see that there are 3 things happening here. First, we print to the screen. This is basically telling you the file name, the length of the file, this file size. This is the stuff that we saw on the screen. This is actually copying the individual file itself. And then this is resetting the cursor. If you've never tried printing to a console before, this isn't going to make a lot of sense, but we need to do this to make everything look pretty. So there's 3 things happening right here. Printing to the screen, copying the file, and then resetting the screen. First thing we are going to do is we're going to set a variable specifically to the size of the file. So file size equals, we already know what the file size is because we're using it here. We're going to pull this out. We're going to pop that right there, and then we're going to put this in right here. So file size. Now we've got a variable that knows what the file size is. We're going to add a check right here. So if file size is less than 3 gigabytes, then we actually copy the file, else print file to large. This is how it's supposed to work, but we still need to define what it is for a file size to be larger than 3 gigabytes. Now, I'm actually going to use ChatGPT for this because I find that ChatGPT is faster than trying to Google stuff. So we're going to copy this. Then we're going to open up ChatGPT right here. How can I make sure that a file is less than 3 gigabytes using, paste that function, and then send this over here. Then this is the function that we're going to use. We're going to copy this. We're going to paste it back in our code. Reformat this guy. Tab those guys up. Shift tab him. Now, ChatGPT isn't perfect, and we need to edit this a little bit. We already know what the file size is, so we can chop this out. We're going to rename this from file path to file size. And then we're going to get rid of these comments because they're not necessary. And then we can just copy this function right here. File size. There we go. Now this will only copy files if they are less than 3 gigabytes. By adding that check, I can get rid of all of the bad footage that I accidentally record with this and make my editing times much faster. Now to actually test this code, I'm going to let this camera run for like 10 minutes. So you can tell that you can't actually see this recording. The only thing that you can do is if you look at the very top, you see that little red LED. We're just going to let this run for 10 minutes and then see if the code works. Okay, there we go. Let's pop the SD card in and see if it worked. Insert the SD card, import.py. Okay, for testing purposes, I changed this to 100 megabytes just so that we could have an easier time actually seeing this. Okay, so 55 megabytes, that works. 55, that works. 22, should be good. Okay, see 103, that was too big, so it did not even try to copy it, and it just skipped over the file. I think that's exactly what we want, and I'll just set this to 3 gigabytes or 5 gigabytes or whatever is the appropriate number of gigabytes for a mistaken video. Oh, yep, there's another one, file too large. Okay, she is now properly set up so that she will copy most of the files over, and anything that's too big, it will just alert me at the end that I need to manually go review them. Next thing that we're gonna do, my bag is filthy because of running through the dirt and all of that stuff, so we're just gonna wash it off. If you're ever washing your stuff after like a camping trip, don't use white towels because they will get dirty. Use something that's a lot darker. There we go, got that cleaned up. I can tell that it is taking some damage. There's some cuts and some scrapes, but it'll be good for a couple more months probably. The last thing we need to do today is we need to head down to the bike, get all of our laundry, wash and dry it. We're on the 5th floor, which kind of sucks. I think I'm also gonna wash the sleeping bag just because it's been here, it's soaking wet and we can. So the bag that I've got right here where I typically put my clothes, it is originally designed to be able to be taken off the back and used like a backpack, but I zip tied it onto the bag just because I don't want to risk accidentally having it fall off. So we've got to manually move all of the clothes over. I do keep a spare plastic bag in my bike though. Okay, we got the clothes and the sleeping bag. We are set. Now we'll just throw all of this stuff in the combination washer and dryer. I don't know why this isn't more common in America, having one machine to do both, because that's nifty. I believe they even gave us laundry detergent. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, some of the clothes are just soaking wet, being out in that rain. Oh, it's in English. I can read it. Cool. Wash plus dry. Yes. Cool. I'll wash my jacket and the sleeping bag next. Okay, I believe that that is all of my chores for today. But because this place has fantastic Wi-Fi, I am going to be live streaming Fortnite. If you guys don't care about Fortnite or you don't want to watch me play Fortnite, that's fine. Don't tune in. But if you guys are interested, I'm going to be playing with you. The rules are pretty simple. We're going to be playing 0 build squads, to where that'll be me and then 3 of the people from the viewership, 3 of you guys. After every game, I will kick everybody out and we'll let 3 new players in. Unless we win the game. If we win the game, then the current lobby stands and we get to play another game. And lastly, if there is somebody that did really good, the chat gets to decide if they get to stay in the next game. So even if we lose, if you did just like a fantastic job, the chat can decide to keep you in. Like that little gladiator thing from the Roman Empire where the person does that. That's what the chat gets to do for you. I actually don't make a whole lot of money from this. I tried live streaming earlier and I think I only made like $3 from the stream. So this isn't profitable for me. I just like playing with you guys.